Hi, this is Brian Bell from Weezer and The Relationship, and you're listening to Cigar City Radio.
Cigar City Radio is sponsored by No Clubs and StateMedia.com. Find out about upcoming concerts in Tampa Bay by visiting StateMedia.com and tagging No Clubs on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Use the hashtag #WeAreConcerts.
Here's what No Clubs has. Tuesday, April 23rd at the Orpheum. I'm going to give this one a try. Brandon Taz Niederauer and Bobby Lee Rogers. I just butchered that name. But if you know Brandon Taz Niederauer, then go check him out Tuesday, April 23rd at the Orpheum. Wednesday, April 24th, closing out a busy April. The Church is playing 2 sets at the Palladium. So that's a pretty nice month of April. A lot of cool shows, a lot of heavy shows. And there's a bunch of cool stuff coming in May, including Government Mule on May 1st and some other shows that you can find at statemedia.com, where you can see the list of all the upcoming dates in Tampa from No Clubs. You can follow No Clubs at No Clubs and check out dates at statemedia.com. Hashtag #WeAreConcerts. Welcome to Cigar City Radio, episode number 97. The song you just heard was Receptionist by Shark Muffin. It's from the EP Gamma Gardening, which was just released by Exploding in Sound Records. You can check it out on all of the digital stores, or you can buy a cassette on Bandcamp. I'm your host, Randy Ojeda, and making the magic happen, Mr. Jason Solanes.
I wish I was a Shark Muffin.
Yeah?
I wish I was Scully's partner. I used to have such a fucking crush on Scully.
Yeah, do you?
No,
Scully is a Shark Muffin.
Scully is entirely a Shark Muffin.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I could see you having a little X-Files crush there, Jason.
Oh, dude, 100%. Yeah. Even David Duchovny. I mean, whatever. He's a good-looking man.
You prefer him on X-Files or Californication?
Californication all day. Yeah. All day, every day.
Yeah. I could see you being into that. I could see you being David Duchovny. Like, if you moved to California, I feel like that would be your life.
Yeah, going for Hank Moody.
Yeah, you'd be a little Hank Moody-esque.
Yeah, he's an honorable guy. He just fucks.
Nothing honorable about Hank. Our guest on this episode is Fever Beam, a band formed in the summer heat of St. Petersburg, Florida, where they've quickly become known for their charismatic and high-energy live show. They've developed a sound affectionately referred to as cowpunk. Yeah, cowpunk. Which they'll tell you a little bit more about in this episode. Fever Beam is actually the first band that we've managed from Tampa as Cigar City Management. So surprising because, we have Cigar City in the name, but we've been, a little selective about who we work with. And I think Fever Beam is definitely doing something that is exceptional, and they're just so great. They're awesome people, super humble, super chill, fun to hang out with and fun to work with. And I think they're going to have an incredible career. So check out their debut single, Young Guns, which is out now on all digital stores, and go to one of their shows if you're local, or check them out on tour. They're going to be hitting up a bunch of dates in April, starting in Miami on April 10th at Kill Your Idol, then heading to Orlando, Athens, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, Asheville, North Carolina, and then back to Jacksonville, Florida, and back home after that. So it's a quick little run, but if you're in one of those cities, you should definitely check out Fever Beam. If you're anywhere in the local area, you should keep an eye on when they're performing and really check them out, because the single sounds great, but their live show is something to behold. They're a lot of fun. So truly one of the best bands that come out of the Tampa Bay area in a long time. You can find them on Instagram at Feverbeam, Twitter at Feverbeam, Facebook at Feverbeam, everything at Feverbeam. Yeah, check them out. So here it is, episode number 97. Friday afternoon. We're at an undisclosed location in Carrollwood, Florida, and we're sitting with some of our favorite people from the Bay Area, Kasey, Sam, and Dane, collectively known as Feverbeam, a band that has been taking the Tampa Bay area by storm, I'd have to say. So how are you guys doing today?
Great. Bullin'.
Good.
Bullin' is basically, it's coolin', but
I'm just chilling.
sometimes you get tired of saying coolin', so you say bullin' instead. Is there any lipstick
Like
on the
jizz?
microphone?
I'm
yet?
sure there will be soon.
Yeah.
So it was really funny
Not
seeing
really
that
nice.
picture that Tampa Sessions shared from Gasparilla Music Fest of a microphone just covered in lipstick, and I didn't even see. I hadn't even seen the caption, and I'm like, I know this was Kasey.
It was all over my entire face. Too.
Yeah.
It was like war paint,
Yeah.
but
No.
not the cool looking kind. It was like, oh shit, that was an accident.
But that was pretty classic, Kasey there, and
Very
obviously
punk
scroll
rock.
scroll down and saw, of course, Feverbeam was tagged, and I'm like, yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So how was Gasparilla Music Fest? Because I was there Saturday, the first day, but then had to fly to Austin the next morning, so I didn't get to see you, and that made me really, really sad because you played Sunday.
It
was
was
dope.
absolutely wicked.
Yeah.
And Gary Clark Jr. and the other bands that played just like blew me away.
It was
And,
an
like
incredible lineup.
We
Gary
got to
Clark
watch 'em.
Jr. played Come Together, and it was like, whoa, like this
Yeah.
is like it was just like a mind-blowing kind of experience. It didn't feel real. Like parts of it just like did not feel like they
Yeah.
were actually happening. It was pretty cool.
That's really rad. There's something magical about Gasparilla Music Festival. It's the setting and especially that late afternoon when the sun starts going down. It's it's such a beautiful park at Curtis Hickson.
Yeah, and so many people put so much like work and love into like making that happen, and you can really like feel it. No matter if you're a musician or like a person going there or like a person
Yeah.
working it, it's like a family. I don't know. It was my first year at Gasparilla. It was like kind of
And those
insane.
Those vegan
The
bratwursts
feeling
were the
is cool.
shit.
Where did you get the vegan bratwurst from?
The German bratwurst stand.
Okay. All right.
The Independent.
Yeah. Oh, the Independent. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense.
It was
The Independent has some good meat for sure, and non-meat, I guess.
yeah,
Mojo, are you really gonna
Good
do?
meat.
some good.
You're
feet.
really gonna do this to me right now?
Of course.
Oh, he's protecting us.
Yeah, he's barking the building. All right. So, but how was your performance at Gasparilla Music Festival? That's what I really
Oh,
want to
it
know.
was dope. They filmed the whole thing. The Tampa Sessions crew
Yeah,
filmed it. So it was nice to be able to watch it afterwards and be like,
That stage
sick.
is really cool.
But
Yeah.
playing, I
Yeah.
feel like we all felt really good about it.
Yeah, I love it. So you played the amphitheater stage, is what
Yeah,
they
the
call it
that's
there.
what
Furman
it was.
Amphitheater.
Yeah, and that's maybe my favorite place to see a show at Gasparilla Music Fest because it just feels so intimate and
It was
you know.
dope, and it was filled up with people.
yeah.
I was just like, what? This
Everyone
is
gets like a
crazy.
good seat too.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's
You know what I mean?
yeah, you can see from
And
anywhere.
the sound is just great. The way
Yeah,
it
the sound is dope.
carries up.
Yeah. You wouldn't think that like a concrete like space
Right.
like that would sound so good, but yeah, it's just the acoustics there are good.
Especially when it's filled with bodies.
Yeah,
you know?
that helps.
Everyone plays their part.
Warm
in the sound,
ones,
which is
super
cool.
warm bodies.
Yeah, well,
It
that's
was a
the other
hot
thing is,
day.
yeah, it's right in the sun, and there's no, I mean, there's some coverage for you while you're performing, but like the people in the stands are like, in
They have
They
the
were
summer.
cooking, yeah.
Yeah.
It was hot that day.
Yeah,
but they
it
were
was a
cooking
hot
with
day.
Fever Beam, I guess, huh?
Oh,
That
yeah.
should be a show,
We
cooking
brought
with
the-
Fever Beam.
Yeah.
What like stonerific meals like would we make? Like,
Well,
There
so I feel like almost every time that we've eaten together, it's been tacos. Like I feel like
Tacos are
90% of the time we've had tacos together. Mostly Taco Bell, but also Taco Bus
We
and
should
other
get some
various
Thai
tacos.
food.
Some Thai food? You guys are into Thai food?
Yeah. Boy.
Really?
I am.
All right, yeah, let's get some Thai food.
Yeah.
Go to Thai Prime. Shout out
I
to
know
Thai
a few.
Prime.
I know a few good Thai
Yeah,
spots.
yeah. So tell me more about Fever Beam in general. Like how did all of you meet? How did you get together?
Well, let's see. I met Kasey when she was doing the Spuds, and I just really loved them. I went to a bunch of their shows, and just like after she was in Glove, I just kind of kept hitting her up and was like, when are we gonna jam? When are we gonna jam? And then we did. And Dane and I knew Dane for a few years. I
We met on like
I moved into a house that he used to live in. It's like a collective of artists and creative people. And
we were both on like psychedelics
I
when we
took
met.
mushrooms one day,
That
and
doesn't
he was on
surprise me.
acid. And
I
we
was on
jammed
acid,
out.
yeah,
I was
she's on-
playing the omnichord during that jam, and Dane was like jamming out on the bass. It was a really interesting time.
So the chemistry was immediate there. You were
Yeah,
like,
we were
okay.
like constantly like jamming. Like we've tried so many different arrangements, like jamming together, and then finally like when it was just like us with Kasey, it worked. And then she was like, "Oh, I've got this other friend," and that was when Dennis was in the band, and like we just like, yeah, formed like
Yeah.
it was just serendipitous.
So what was the inspiration, I guess, behind the sound? You know, because you describe it as cowpunk, which is, you know, I don't know if anybody listening knows what cowpunk is, but Fever Beam will kind of describe it to you. What is cowpunk?
Cowpunk to me is like, I don't know, some of my biggest influences, like early punk, like 80s punk bands, like Gun Club is like a huge one. And then like, you know, Television and like Patti Smith and like that era. But I guess like cowpunk is just like reimagined from what it was, because cowpunk never really like broke the surface. Like Dead Milkmen were kind of like the ones to like really drive cowpunk into like people's like awareness, like into the table. And but I guess it's just like a form of punk that just has more of like a
Twanginess.
bluesy,
It's like
twangy.
a twang, you know?
Yeah.
Richard Hell too has like his own kind of thing going. It's not cowpunk, but it's like, what would you describe that as? I guess.
I don't know. I
don't know who
don't
that
know what I would
is.
describe it as. And it's interesting because you as a band, I think, you know, there's definitely that twang there, but it also is really punk, and it really is really just like rock and roll and bluesy. And I think that's what draws a lot of people to Fever Beam, is just that it's a really cool mix of different styles, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, it's very like honestly and genuinely you, which is I think what I like about it too.
That's why I'm like, I think it's cool that we say that it's cowpunk, because nobody knows what the fuck cowpunk is. And it's just like, I wouldn't want to say flat out like it's rock and roll, because it's
wanna get
not
pigeonholed.
really like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
It's just like our own little version of like cowpunk. You know,
Yeah.
but it's just like, you know,
Just a little something for the kids.
Yeah. But that's what's cool about it, is like it makes sense for you. Like especially the more I get to know you, I'm just like these songs and this music is just kind of an extension of your personalities in a weird way. Mm-hmm. Would you agree with that, Kasey?
Yeah. Because I'm a wild Bronco and I know how to fucking put it down.
Woo!
Yeah. So you know, case closed there. I think that's pretty much. That is Fever
Couldn't have
Beam.
said it
We can
better
end the
myself.
interview, and thank you guys for stopping in. No.
Like a wrestler.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a
Some
cold
wrestler.
brew. I feel like my heart.
Yeah,
Understandable. This is a very caffeinated Fever Beam right now, which is kind of a scary thought to me because I was at their show last Sunday with Thelma and the Sleaze, and you performed a hell of a show, all this energy, kick ass, and then later in the night, Sam is like jumping up and down around the mosh pit area, and I'm like, how do you still have this much energy, Sam? Like, how did
Thelma
you just
and
play a show?
Thelma and
Okay.
the Sleaze is
Thelma
a really
and the
high energy.
Sleaze.
All those ladies like just fucking rocked it. But I think it's also when
No
we
mercy
practice,
at
we go through it a
all.
bunch of times, and when you play a show, you just play it once, and then you're like still ready to go after.
Oh, so you could have done like 3 sets then, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kasey says no.
No.
Every
was
time I play a
pretty-
set, like 20 minutes
pretty
after,
hyped
I'm
up.
like, that's when now I want to play the set again.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. It's like you're just warming
Like,
up.
man, now I would
The
kill
second
it.
Yeah.
time
You
is
know?
the best time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was it like? You did a couple shows with Thelma and the Sleaze in Miami and here in Tampa. So what was it like to meet LG and the rest of the crew?
Freaking amazing. They
So-
were all so nice. We all crashed at the same place too, and it was just really cute.
What did you guys do when you hung out?
We passed out.
Okay.
We drank
yeah.
I drank a little wine first and then passed out.
That sounds
We
like a
all
rock star
we all
thing to do.
drank a
And
little
then in
bit
the
of
middle
wine.
of the night,
Passed
I
out.
stole Casey's pillow, or I tried to.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like sneaking in because I forgot my pillow.
that doesn't sound good at all.
I didn't know that.
She was.
That
she
sounds
was,
mean. Why would you-
sneaky.
Yeah.
I would have let her have it.
Yeah.
If I was awake, I would have given it to her and slept on
It's true.
But
the
they're
cold hard ground.
they were super rad, and it's funny because to me they like kind of what we're saying about cowpunk and
LG let me rip on her custom guitar, and
Oh.
that was the sickest
Damn.
feeling I've ever had. Like playing with another band, I think she's like, go on stage and play. The guitar's name is Fancy,
yeah.
and like it
were-
felt like. It's like gunmetal finish, so it's got
Yeah.
all the like sweat and tears of like Nashville and like
They were all just such great
South by.
performers.
Yeah,
and
great
musicians.
musicians.
Like
Yeah.
Gucci
It's,
Gucci,
I also-
Cat,
yeah.
Snowflake.
those
Yeah,
keys,
fucking
those keys.
all of them,
that's what
dude.
I love. I love that
Shit.
LG.
Yeah,
I guess
Gucci
just
kills it on the keys. Good lord.
I guess LG just gives nicknames to everyone because
Yep.
when she knew a friend of mine, Christine in Austin, and was like, "Oh, you know Bubbles?" And I was like, I don't call her Bubbles, but yeah,
shit.
sure. Like, yeah, I know Bubbles. And so the bass player is Whiskers.
Whiskers.
Yeah, and
Whiskers.
Snowflake is the drummer.
Snowflake is the drummer, and then the keyboard
Kunti
player.
Kunti.
Good.
What?
Kunti. It's
Coochie.
Coochie Coochie.
Yeah,
Coochie Coochie.
I thought it was Kunti Kunti.
It's
No.
Coochie
I think-
Coochie.
Yeah, I think it's Coochie Coochie sounds like it fits
Yeah.
with Whiskers and Snowflake.
Yeah.
And yeah, really incredible band. Really good musicians.
Yes.
And
Really
I
good
feel like only they
lyrics.
can get away with a song called Come,
Yeah, man.
Also,
We've been jamming to them so hard.
they have a song about butt sex too.
They do.
Ain't
They
your
do.
Baby no more.
You can write a song about anything.
Shout
Just
out.
like that.
They also have a
Sleaze.
song that LG described as it's about a woman who gives good head, but she's not wife material, which I thought was pretty clever. Because like butt sex, everybody's got a song about butt sex, but that's a much more specific thing to write a song about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
no.
island and the
But-
feel.
Yeah, but really cool. And like what I was saying is like in the same way that Fever Beam kind of bounces between these different worlds and sounds, like Thelma and the Sleaze is a really good example of
Oh,
that
yeah.
because they have some of the Nashville thing and some of the Southern thing going on, but it is very rock and roll. It is very punk,
Yeah.
and I don't know. That's why like I think cowpunk is a fun way to describe Fever Beam, just because genres don't really mean anything anymore.
True.
like,
They
who-
really don't.
who gives a shit what it's called?
Yeah.
Because you're doing different things and you're fitting into different vibes and different
We
moods.
We're going
keeping it
off the-
loose.
We're going off
Keeping
the
it
rails
loose.
on a crazy train.
Yeah, that you are. So you have this new single coming out April 5th, which it was, if you're listening to this podcast, is probably after April 5th, because statistically speaking, there are more days after April 5th than before.
True. Yeah. Hits blunt. Like, yeah.
So
You're right about that.
so the new single is called Young Guns. And tell me about Young Guns and how that song was put together.
So I fucking love Young Guns. I have not seen Young Guns 2 all the way through yet, but if you have not seen Young Guns, watch it. The song in general isn't really like have anything to do with the movie per se, but just like the action of like watching it in between like whatever else is going on, and just like, man, I can't even tell you how many times I've watched that movie in a row.
Yeah.
And like,
One of the things you go do that makes you feel good or comfortable.
Yep, you go home and you watch Young Guns on VHS, the couch. You just
Yeah.
booling.
Yeah.
Just booing.
Just
Just booling.
chillin'.
That's really funny because I was very happy when I first went to your house and you actually did have Young Guns on VHS and actually quite an extensive VHS collection.
Indeed.
So, that's what I'm saying. This is no bullshit. This is
Indeed, it's real.
this is real. You're really watching Young Guns on VHS.
And not fully Young Guns 2 yet, but we'll check back.
Do you have that one
sure.
on VHS?
I do now, thanks to Ricky's.
How many did they make? Just 2? 2? All right.
Yep.
All right.
I feel like that's probably enough.
Yeah.
I don't think they need to make it.
I don't know where they could have possibly taken it after the first one, but hey, we'll
Yeah, like
see.
what did they do in the sequel? Did they like go to space? Like
Yeah, I think
That's Tremors. I think you're thinking of Tremors.
yeah.
After the 4th Tremors movie,
There's
they're
4
like
Tremors.
they're underground or something.
Right.
I didn't make it that far, but that's another good one. Tremors 1 and 2.
Do you have those on VHS?
I have a 4-disc DVD set,
Oh, okay.
so I think Tremors came a little bit after VHS.
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
We have just come over and watch something one day.
I'd love to.
We
I
got
would love
Aladdin.
you got a lot of good ones.
Got
Yeah.
Silence
yeah.
of the Lambs.
Okay, that's quite a jump from Aladdin to Silence of the Lambs.
Listen, we have a
Could be
variety
chicken,
of
could be ice cream, Yeah,
For the kids, for the
and
all 3 of the Lord of the Rings, the OG Lord of the Rings.
there you
You
go.
bet
The
your
extended
ass.
editions or the original cuts?
Original cuts.
I also have Twilight, Breaking Dawn, New Moon,
Eclipse.
Taxi Driver,
Taxi Driver too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a nice job.
Clockwork Orange, Twilight.
I already said Twilight.
I know.
I feel like you're really hyping up the video
Rosemary's
collection.
Baby,
Listeners are going to be
Rosemary's
like,
Baby.
man, I really need to check out this
School of
VHS
Rock.
collection. School of Rock on VHS?
X-Men.
Yeah,
What?
I got that
Yep.
shit. Jack Black. Boop.
Damn.
Got X-Men.
Honestly, your place is really rad. I won't lie. It's you're living out in St. Pete and
The Funky Ranch.
Yeah. And your dog, what is your dog's name? I
His
forgot.
name's Louie, and he actually just got
Louie.
a really terrible haircut yesterday.
Oh, poor Louie.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
He knows it too. He's really embarrassed.
And you have you also have a very cool Frank Zappa poster up on the wall.
Dude, hardest motherfucker in the game.
Frank
He
Zappa.
loves Frank Zappa.
I love Frank Zappa, and actually so does LG. I asked her before.
That's a good thing. No,
parted
Jason
ways.
loves Frank Zappa.
All right, see,
All day,
you
every
guys
day.
don't.
I love Frank Zappa, but not in the way that it appears that you and Jason and LG from Thelma
Yeah.
and the Sleaze do.
I don't know.
I used to make out with girls too. The song Catholic Girls.
Oh,
Kasey's like the wheels are spinning right now.
It explains why I'm not married.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. So what's your favorite what's your favorite Frank Zappa song or favorite Frank Zappa album?
oh man, Hot Rats is my favorite album. Any song off that goes, and also I'm the Slime. That song goes so hard too, and I don't know. That's a good place to start. I'll stop there. And if you know you're drawn into that, then just stop while you're ahead and don't dig any further. Cause Muffin Man, that's a solid one. That's one you could play for the kids in front of them. They would like that. Oh, thought he was a man, but he was a muffin. playing School of Rock on VHS in the background, and your 4-year-old is like this.
Just thrashing.
no words.
No one
words.
can see you,
Yeah,
but
no one
you
can
are.
see you,
She's
but you're-
headbanging
and just going.
She just did a
fucking hard.
somersault. Oh my god.
Yeah, like
She had her little,
yeah.
her little heavy metal devil horns up on her fingers and just.
She's
headbanging
standing on
away
her head right now.
in her underwear.
These are the things that happen in Fever Beam World.
I am the slime on the video.
So I want to know how you guys learn your instruments and why your instruments.
Oh man.
So why bass guitar for you? What made that happen?
My brother played guitar for like quite a few years before I ever like picked up any instruments, and he was always playing guitar. So I was like, oh, I'll pick up the bass. You know what I mean?
Just to be different?
Just to go with him to a different frequency. There's just something about it that always just like captured me, like the bass guitar.
Did he teach you how to play bass guitar? Or was that self-taught, or did you get a teacher?
No, I was self-taught, but he would try and teach me riffs and just yell at me until I learned them right. So, which in the long run really helped. But yeah, he would just teach me riffs and stuff like that, and just playing together, playing with like my homies. Just really, like, used to live at this place called the Roser House, and at a time like had like 10 roommates, and like all of them were like wonderful, profound musicians. So just by being around them and really jamming with them, that like
You got knowledge by osmosis.
yeah, I just tried to absorb all their brilliance.
Cool. All right.
But yeah.
Why the drums and how the drums?
Well, I actually played guitar for a lot of my life. I started taking lessons when I was like 9, and then I just kind of like pursued music. And I just, once I moved up to St. Pete, I also moved into the house Dane was talking about with all the great musicians, and it just like cycles through like so many people, great musicians cycle through that living space. And I went there and I just tried to jam with as many people as possible, just on any instrument that I could. And a buddy of ours, an artist, Eva, she's a great artist. She just needed a drummer one day, and I was like kind of joking, like, I'll play drums for you. And then she was like, okay, and then left. And then I realized like I gotta learn how to play drums.
And Sam is a Taurus. Sam is a Taurus, so if Sam gets an idea, she's like, gotta do it, gotta be the best. And it really works out great for her. And I don't know if it's got anything to do with the zodiac, because Sam in general is just pretty magic. So it's like,
well,
but she is a Taurus, and they have to be the best at everything, and they usually are.
when Kasey and Dane and I got together, it just felt like so right. Like it just felt really right, and I felt just like I could really get into a groove with the like combination of them, you know. And I hadn't really felt like that way before. It just was like this like comfort area, like for me, I think.
Yeah, I think one of the things I love about watching you play drums in particular is that you always look like you're having fun with it. You know, like you always look like you're having the best time playing drums. Which,
for sure, it's fun. It's a fun thing to do.
Yeah, totally. Well, then, Kasey, we got to hear the
why and how.
Yeah.
My first job when I was in the 5th grade, my dad had a franchise of a music academy, and I was like, I would go after school and run the front desk, not run it, but I would sit there and like cash out the like students and like, you know, book their like schedules for their lessons. And since I was always there like hanging out, I would like when the teachers would have like a second, I would play drums or bass or guitar or whatever, and I started playing in these like little cover bands. We did like Seven Nation Army cover, and we did like When I Come Around kind of stuff. And I played bass. I played bass at first. And then I put down music for a really long time. I would play like open mic nights and stuff because like my dad was always like driving it because he's a musician. And put it down for a really long time. And then I got into the Tampa punk scene, and I wanted to start a doom metal band. So I bought an SG. because I was really into Black Sabbath and I was reading like a Tony Iommi like book on, you know, autobiography or whatever. And I was like, I need to buy an SG. And so when I was 17, I was not serving, I was a hostess and saved up money and bought an SG. And then it sat in the corner for a couple weeks because I just didn't know how to play it. And I would just go up and down on the E string or like, because I wanted to be in a doom metal band. So I'd play like open E and then like second fret and then like open E.
I saw a hard time.
And then I'm like, man, I don't know what I'm doing. And then I started taking lessons from Sue Lin.
Oh, that's great.
Who's in Propaganda, and she was in I'm an Intestine and like a
Feral
huge
Babies.
part of Feral Babies. Yeah, and Sue Lin is really like the main reason why I stuck with it for so long, because she was the first guitar teacher that I had that really like fed my hunger for playing punk music.
Yeah.
So I started playing with the Spuds, which I started with like two of my best homies that didn't really play music, and we all just kind of like learned together what it means to be in a band and what it means to write your own music and songs, and I fucking loved it. Couldn't get enough. I'm gonna keep doing it. It's been 2 years. I'm gonna keep going until I croak.
That's what amazes me, is that it's only been 2 years. Like, you've only been doing this for 2 years.
Yeah.
That's insane to me.
Started out as a way to not have to use my fake ID so much. Just kidding. That doesn't sound good at all. That wasn't why. But damn, did it ever work. Woo! Bet you didn't know I was 18. Bow, 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 bow.
Casey's still standing on her head.
Yeah, she's been standing on her head.
Her face is bright red right now.
man.
It's crazy.
That's crazy. So yeah, you're only 21, which is insane, and you've only been playing really seriously for 2 years, and you're as kick-ass as you are, which is kind of an incredible thing to think about.
We'll
I
see.
met Kasey at
I feel like I still got a
Spud
little
show.
while to go.
But I see how far you
The
can go.
progression.
I can, and I've already seen the progression, but the potential is what amazes me. You know, if
Thank
you've done
you.
this in 2 years, man, 2 more years of Kasey.
Thank
Hell
you.
yeah.
Look out, world.
Me
5 more years, 10 more years.
Yeah, how many more?
Casey forever.
Casey forever would be fantastic.
Godspeed.
Casey fully loaded.
Yeah, yeah. How you were just saying that? Dane, you were just talking about how you met Kasey. How
Oh yeah,
was that?
I met her because both our old bands played together. She played in the Spuds. I played in a weird little band.
Yeah, my first show ever, I played with Dane's band, Sad Shivas.
Yeah.
The what?
Well, our first show was the
It was
Spuds.
just like some weird little
Sad,
project that I
sad Shebas.
Okay.
with Jamoqua and Fernando. But yeah, I hadn't met Kasey before, and she played. I did the Spuds. It was at the Emerald, and I just remember hearing her voice and being like, "Whoa!" And she did a cover of
Hit the Road
"Hit the
Jack.
Road Jack," dude. And the way you did it was so sick, and the way you sang, and I was just like, "No
Hit the
one."
road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more.
Yeah.
But you got like really amped and like it got like
Sounds so
it
rad.
got super
Oh,
super
woman,
gnarly.
oh, woman, why'd you treat me so mean? You're the meanest woman that I ever seen. All right, I'll stop.
You guys
You
had,
Yeah,
should bring
you
that
guys had
back.
they had some hits.
Yeah,
dude. They were
that's
good.
Yeah, the
dope.
Spuds were
That's-
sick.
Sweet whiskey, baby.
You could always
Why'd you
dance.
have to get so sour?
You could always dance
Hang
to the. You could always dance at a Spuds show. That's one thing. That
Yeah,
is,
you can always
like,
dance at a
guaranteed.
Fever Beam show. What are you talking
Hell
about?
yeah.
You know,
True.
that's one of the things I like to see at your shows too, is the wide range of audience members
Yes.
who are into
yeah.
it. You know,
love
like
to see that too.
there's young kids that are into Fever Beam. There's like an older crowd that's into Fever Beam.
It feels
like,
cool when the older crowd comes up and they're like, you know, you remind me of
Janis Joplin and Nirvana.
Joan Jett, or like you remind me of Patti Smith a little bit, or like you got that, like it's like cool to see, like
Yeah.
someone said from Bikini Kill, always fucking her name slips my mind. Oops,
Kathleen Hanna.
Kathleen. Yeah.
Yeah, I see
It feels
that.
cool to like have the older crowd like recognize kind of like my inspiration. Like,
Yeah. Well, they know your influences.
Yeah.
Like they know, kind of, everything in the world is influenced by something else. So,
yeah.
they see where you came from, you know.
Mhm.
But what I'm interested in now is, where are you going? So what's next for Fever Beam? What's on the horizon?
Breaking some saddles.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about your
Taming
tour.
the wild horses.
Yeah,
Giddy up.
you're going on tour. You're releasing Young Guns April 5th, and then you're
We
going
have
on
a music video too coming out.
Yeah, and the music video. But
And we're smashing on up to Asheville and back.
yeah, yeah.
Smashing on up.
So this is your first ever tour, right? Because
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Fever Beam, yeah.
this is the Fever Beam inauguration tour, right?
Yeah.
And you have the van.
Yes, we've got a little
Cornflake.
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 And she's ready to go. We're ready to go.
God bless
We're just,
Cornflake.
I think we're all just kind of biding our time until we get on the road. We're just like all so excited.
Yeah. I bet. I know the van was a triumphant occasion for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okini.
buying the
Shout
van.
out to our mechanic Okini. He was at Gasparilla too.
Fayroy, shout out.
Yeah.
Fayroy, yeah, it's the old Fayroy van.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, the van's got some history then. I'm sure with the
Mhm.
Fayroy boys.
Yeah, some magic vibes.
Yeah, I'm sure. Some magic vibes, maybe magical traces of other things too.
Aw.
Not to say anything about it. I love Fayroy.
They're good boys.
They're good people.
I
They're
did
good boys.
find
Yeah.
a egg McMuffin wrapper like between the window and the curtain.
I know it was
Son
you,
of a
Grayson.
bitch.
I know it was you. You son of a bitch.
I was like, wow, the Fayroy boys look pretty good for eating McDonald's and shit.
Yeah, right.
They are.
Hey, but when you're on tour, you got to
Yeah,
do it. You
yeah,
gotta
it
do
happens.
You know, I know. I'm sure you're gonna be hitting Taco Bell a couple times on the tour.
Sponsor us.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
it
We'll get
wasn't
we'll
for
get you
them,
that
I'd be
Feed the
dead.
Beat sponsorship for sure. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So right on. So the tour and the music video. So you want to tease the video? Like, give us kind of a don't spoil too much, but like what's the concept behind the video?
So the concept behind the video is there's no goddamn concept.
Yeah, there's no direct
Okay.
theme.
We did everything under the sun and more in this video to keep the concept as far out of reach as possible because we'll see because I haven't even seen the video, but I do know that some of the footage that we shot was really out there, so
I feel like the video
we'll
was
see what
more-
happens.
I feel like the video was more so just like a chance for like an excuse for us to just like hang out and have fun. 'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah, I
we're,
think
like,
that's
at
gonna
the
reflect
bar.
really. That's gonna reflect like
Eat
really
ice
well.
cream.
I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, and eat
We were
ice cream.
spooning ice cream into each other's
And just-
mouths, dressed up as horses and cowboys,
and riding on each
riding on each other's back across the street,
running around being delirious. It's just
Took out $100,000 loan to make this video.
Yeah, Dane
Don't
only. Dane
scare
only.
we hired Donald Pleasance as an actor.
hmm
Wow.
Yeah, we all got actors to play ourselves. It's not actually us.
You should definitely do that for a video though. Like let's get some actors. Who would play each of you in a movie? That's my question.
Shit.
Angelina Jolie.
Would play you?
Why not?
No, I'm not. I'm just clarifying.
I would hope maybe Owen Wilson could take a spin trying to play me. Just because he's like, I would like to see it. He's my favorite.
That would be that would be
I think
amazing.
Steve Buscemi would play me.
Would play
I think
you.
that would be good. I feel like that's the vibe.
So this hypothetical Fever Beam movie starring Angelina Jolie as Sam.
Yeah.
Just like hearing the Owen Wilson going, wow, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Angelina Jolie as
Oh,
Sam.
cowpunk.
Steve
Wow.
Buscemi
Oh, wow.
as Dane, and Owen Wilson as Kasey.
Wes Anderson's gonna direct it.
But
Yeah,
like Owen
dude.
Wilson,
Yes.
Owen Wilson when he had like the little shaglet and he had like
Ooh, girl.
what was that movie that he was in
to Lose
as
a
a
Guy.
cop? He was like a cop.
Starsky and
with-
Hutch. the
Starsky
remake.
and Hutch.
Oh, yeah.
Owen Wilson and
Oh,
Starsky and
man.
Hutch, yeah.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
No, keep talking. Don't.
I know all his movies.
He's,
Don't
I
give
don't
up on
know.
us, baby.
Mr. Superfan.
Don't make the wrong seem wow.
So we're pretty much out of time, but I want to give you guys the opportunity to. Is there any final thoughts you have for the Cigar City Radio listeners or the Tampa audience, what are the final words from Fever Beam? We can go around the table if you want.
Start a band and play a show with us.
Hell
if
yeah.
you don't play music in a band already and you've been itching to get out there and just do it, because it's a great outlet and it never stops like
Giving.
yeah. So I would say that. I would say look out for Fever Beam's music coming out. Look out for our music video that's also coming out. We're going on tour soon. If you're listening from outside of Tampa, come and see us. We put a lot and all of ourselves into this band at times, and it's really important to the three of us that you might come out and like it.
Partay
and
with us.
Be our friends. We'll smoke you out. I'll let somebody else
They
take
will. They
over.
will.
I love you.
Be free, children.
Yeah, be good out there.
Live free. Maybe we'll see you at a show. Yeah.
Keep your nose clean and your pecker dry.
We're releasing our single.
Tell your mother you love her.
Releasing our single on April 5th.
Yeah.
So if you would like to listen to it, then
Give everybody
There
the
you go.
benefit of the doubt, you know?
So my last thing is just, if people want to find you, where can they go?
Oh, that's pretty important.
Yeah.
So we have an Instagram,
Bandcamp.
Fever Beam on Instagram. We have
Yeah.
a Bandcamp. We're Fever Beam on Bandcamp. We got Facebook, Fever Beam on Facebook. We got Twitter. I don't even use Twitter, but somebody all do.
Yeah.
We're
Shit.
Fever Beam
Hardly
on
know
Twitter.
her.
So you're Fever Beam on
Nice.
everything.
Beautiful, beautiful,
actually,
beautiful.
while we're doing this, we should shout out the original owner of @Fever Beam, because
Oh my
the
God.
band.
Thank
So
you,
a
friend.
little tidbit. The band
Yeah.
Instagram username used to be Fever_Beam_band.
underscore.
What? There was another underscore?
2 at the end.
Oh my God.
Underscore.
I'm fucking around. There was
No,
not
no,
that
there was
many.
just 2
But there was way many.
Yeah.
Like, way too much.
And I remember one of the first times we sat down, I was like, you guys have to get @FeverBeam. Like, why don't you already have that? And we looked, and there was a gentleman who had @FeverBeam.
I think it was his dog.
Yeah, it was his dog's account, and it was all pictures of his dog.
And it was like
It's a
this
cute
dog.
dog.
His dog
very
with,
cute dog.
with a toy, and it's just the caption is bark.
Yeah.
And you're like, how the fuck are we gonna get in touch with this dog? We need to change our Instagram name.
Yeah, but we're like, oh well, it's the internet, so let's just DM him and tell him the situation and see if he'll give you the username. And within like 2 days, I feel
God's
like,
plan.
yeah.
God's plan.
God's plan.
So thank you to that gentleman for changing his username. You can now follow Fever
Thanks,
Beam
dude.
on Instagram @FeverBeam, and that's God's plan.
And now the queen of hearts is dead. I didn't know just how I felt until the dark eyes were on me, and I knew just what was meant to be.
And I want to play in space one day. So
Eyes on the
Elon
skies.
Musk, if Elon Musk ever hears this.
That was too. Cause I'm a redneck woman. I ain't no high class broad. All right, I'm over it.